Whoa, okay, this is one of the easiest paneling projects I have ever done. So if you are thinking about doing it yourself, I would definitely give it a go. I actually did this in an afternoon and I teamed up with a company called Rumix DIY who do all things paneling for beginners. So definitely check them out. Let's get straight into it. So the first thing I did, I had to measure the wall accurately so that when I went to plan it and do the maths, it all made sense. Took me a few attempts to do this on pieces of paper because I'm not very good at maths, but I got there eventually and this is how it looked and I knew exactly how far from each other I wanted it to be. And I'm measuring 3 foot up from the skirting boards here and just marking it with a piece of pencil. Okay, and to just put this chair rail up, I need no nails, a glue gun, a pencil because I'm going to try and draw a line across, tape measure, which Rumix supplied all of these things to me, and then I've got 2 spirit levels just to make sure because you can't always trust spirit levels, so I'm going to use both of these. I'm going to put it up with the glue first and then pop these on top and see if it's level. Okay, so as you can see, I am literally just gluing this straight on. I'm able to do it by myself. The glue is really strong. I did have a little wobble here because I tried to make it level and then it fell off. But yeah, try and get as level as you can to begin with, then push it onto the wall and check with the level that it's all straight and just give it a little adjustments. So now it's time for me to do the picture moldings. I'm lucky that I've got a miter saw because we've done loads of renovations. So I was able to easily cut these, but using a miter saw, like a manual one with a miter box, is good enough. It actually probably gives a more accurate cut. So now I needed to miter these pieces. So on an angle, I am literally just cutting these at an angle, but I did make a mistake here. So you've got to make sure that you're mitering the opposite end when you're coming to doing the corners. So I messed up this here. I just mitered them all the same way, unfortunately. So you will see later on how I mess this up. So just take my advice and make sure that you get them right before you continue to do them all. So yeah, straight in, and I thought I would start around the vent because I thought that was an important place to start. Didn't want to panel over the vent, so I thought if I start in that corner, then hopefully it will all measure out from there. I then stuck the one on the opposite side and I thought, you know, I could go from the centre, get the centre of the piece of wood and stick that in there. And that's how I started the panelling. So everything from here on out felt really simple. So I took 8 inches from the bottom of the panelling to where I wanted the bottom of the picture moulding to be. And that's how I got the length of the picture frames. So I just cut them into shape and then I literally just whacked them in. They were all pretty level just from the top one being so straight, which was amazing for me because then I could just go and repeat the process twice with the other 2. And yeah, it was all coming together quite easily, apart from the fact that I'd mitered them the wrong way. You couldn't tell too much from far away. Right, it's now time for a cup of tea. After that wonderful cup of tea or two, it was time to fill the corners where I kind of messed up the mitering. So yeah, I just needed some wood filler from Ronseal and a scraper, but you can also use your finger, depends how big your gaps are. If they are just nail holes, you could probably use your finger, but I'm using a combination of them both. As you can see here, I was finding it a little bit tricky to get the wood filler in with my finger, but it got there eventually. So honestly, if you don't have a scraper, you can just use your finger. Okay, so while I wait for the wood filler to dry around all the places that I filled,
I am going to go around and caulk the edges. I'm hoping one bottle will do the whole thing because I've only got one bottle. So yeah, let's get cracking.
Okay, so once the caulk is on, I use one of these fidgy tools to get rid of the excess caulk. You can just use your finger, so don't worry if you don't have the tool. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait 1 hour and wait for the wood filler to dry so that I can sand that down. And then I think the caulk should take about an hour to dry as well. And then next steps is to prime the wood and then wait for that to dry, and then I can go ahead and paint it in the white 05 that's already on the wall. The other thing I was going to say is that I am not actually going to do down here, so it's not forever, and I might do it in the future, but at the moment I'm not really seeing the benefit of me doing it because the sofa will literally come up to about here all along this wall. So if we do change the layout, then I will go ahead and do that, but for now I'm tired, so I'll just leave it for another day. This is how it's looking so far, looking pretty good. You can see how much difference having the caulk in the gaps makes it such a tidy job. Okay, so now that the wood filler has dried, I am going to go ahead and just sand it back with a bit of sandpaper. What grade is it? 100 grit. I don't know if 100 is good enough, but that's what I'm going to go and do. So let's try and get this nice and smooth. There we go. I know it doesn't look great, but I think once the paint goes on, it'll sink into the ridges, and yeah, I would say it feels nice and smooth now. So yeah, I'll leave it like that. Okay, so I'm going to use this primer. This came as part of the pack that Rumik sent me. So yeah, I've used it on the staircase and it's good enough product, so let's just get straight into it. For me to do now is to paint the panelling the same colour as the wall, which is white 05 from Lick. I love this colour. I think it's a white, but it's got a very warming feel to it, and when the sun floods in, it really does just make it feel like a lovely cozy warm space. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. I'm just going to give it a quick lick of paint. I'm going to touch up some areas that maybe needs touching up down there. And yeah, I'll see how it looks with the sofa pushed back without bottom panels. Obviously, because the sofa does take up the majority of the bottom half. So I will see if I feel like it needs to be done imminently. If it does, I'll do it later. But for now, I'll just see how it looks. Okay guys, and this is what it looks like. I absolutely love it. It just adds that element of like relaxation. It's pleasing on the eye. I'm just absolutely obsessed. I would say though I will definitely be doing the lower half. I think it is kind of missing it, so I will be doing that at some point, but I think the top half, you know, it gives enough statement as you walk into the room. So some lessons that I learned is make sure you know which way you're mitering if the moulding isn't like completely flat and it needs to be a certain way, and just plan ahead, and yeah, probably do the bottom half. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial guys. Honestly, do it. It is so simple. I did it all by myself. It took an afternoon. The only thing was that I had to paint the next day because the primer wasn't dry because the house is freezing. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give me a like or a subscribe because I've got a lot more videos coming your way.